these high-peaked dominions, sealed to our search, too far from the surface nature's postal routes, too lofty for our mortal lives to breathe. Deep in us a forgotten kinship points, and a faint voice of ecstasy and prayer calls to those lucent, lost immensities. Even when we fail to look into our souls, or lie embedded in earthly consciousness, still have we passed that grove towards the light. Yet are there luminous tracts and havens serene, and Eldorados of splendor and ecstasy, and temples to the Godhead none can see. A breath comes down from a supernal air, a presence is born, a guiding light awakes, a stillness falls upon the instruments, fixed sometimes like a marble monument, stone calm. The body is a pedestal supporting a figure of eternal peace. Assured of the apocalypse to be, it reckons not the moments and the hours. Great, patient, calm, it sees the centuries pass, awaiting the slow miracle of our change. In the short, deliberate process of world force, in the long march of all-revealing time. A treasure of honey in the combs of God, a splendor burning in the tenebrous glow. It is our glory of the flame of God, our golden fountain of the world's delight, and immortality carved in a cape of death, the shape of our unborn divinity, a burning witness in the sanctuary, regards to time and the blind walls of form. A timeless light is in his hidden eyes. He sees the secret things no words can speak, and knows the goal of the unconscious world and the heart of the mystery of the journeying years. Ashwapati's soul is released from the bondage of nature. His strength is already linked with the universal strength. He would walk through swift time. He would overtake the human strides. He would stand on a height from where could be glimpsed greater and sublimer heights. The present heights could simply be the shadows of those taller, loftier heights. But what has been made is only a beginning. This achievement of Ashwapati is only a beginning. It's just a starting point of a spiritual journey which has to go a long way. There are powers of reality which have yet to be reckoned with, which have yet to take birth in this creation. Those powers, those wonderful immensities must be reached, they must be attained, they must become a part of life here. The parts not yet open to us must open to them, must grow towards them. They must grow into them. They must grow into those immensities of spirit. Those parts which are not opened, they must grow. They must open to those immensities of the spirit. There are bright, happy rivers. There flow the streams of lucidities, the streams of milk and honey rush to the lands. There are calm mountains glistening under the eye of heaven. There are lands strewn with the dust of coal. There are children who play with jeweled marbles. There are worlds of splendor and of ecstasy. There are still regions of imperishable light. There are eagle peaks of silent power. There are oceans of fathomless bliss. There are the tranquil expanses of the spirit. These countless wonders of the spirit, these wonders of the spirit, these must be accessed. We must reach them. We must make them a part of us. These must be made a part of us. This must be made a part of our being and our soul. That greater dynamic personality should shape our movements in them, in those loftinesses, in those greatnesses. Nature must be kindled with the Spirit's flame. Nature must be lighted with the flame of the Spirit. This must happen here if there has to be a real progress. Ashwapati has to cross these lands and see that his movements are shaped by that dynamic personality, that his nature is kindled with the Spirit's flame. All that is jealous and hungry in us, all that is lustful and corrupt, all that is vile and mean, all that is objectionable, which is going to retard our progress, all that must take leave. The inner lamp must show to us the presence of virtue. It must show to us the presence of charity. It must show to us the presence of forbearance and love and sweetness. That inner lamp must light our way up towards the nobilities of the Spirit waiting for us. All that is deep within us must emerge. There is the opening of the wider consciousness. In Ashwapati, there is that broadening, that sense of vastness has come. The intimations of eternity and immortality reveal to us the hidden verities waiting for expression. There is the urge that urges us to shape our thoughts, to shape our feelings, to shape our actions. It urges our actions in the strength of the soul. Our minds hush to a bright omniscient. We hear the sounds of the true and the harmonious. We see the long march moving the steps of the all-revealing time. A timeless light shines in the eyes. There are secret things which no words can speak. It is these secret things which are disclosed to us. The gladnesses of the Godhead fills us. They fill us in the golden privacy of the immortal fire. These gladnesses, they have pervaded our being. That is the kindling of the flame in the house of nature. And Ashwapati has already reached the stage. All this has already happened to Ashwapati.